Hello everyone, Wednesday, November 8th, 2017. Today is New Comic Book Day, which means right now is New Comic Book Video Day. So we're going to do things a little differently this week. I've been showing older books I've picked up in the past week in the last few videos, but unfortunately I didn't pick anything up in this last week because I've been super busy. So I got a message from a viewer who said, hey, I really enjoy collecting war comics. I know in your past videos you have stated your love for war comics, whether it be Sergeant Rock, Sergeant Fury, or older Our Army at Wars. And so he said, is there any titles you can recommend that might not be mainstream, under the radar, that I might enjoy as well? So I'm going to show some of those titles. I'm also going to show a very nice 1 in 10 variant that's hot right now and has been going up consistently every month. So let's jump into the books, and we're going to jump into yet another DC disappointment. This is Wonder Woman 700 issues of Wonder Woman. And so this is a big book, obviously, and DC did nothing for it. Just put out a little skinny book. Cover's nice, don't get me wrong, nice cover, but this is the 700th issue, and you didn't do anything for it. That's big. A foil cover, something. Just give me something for 700. And this is where my concern lies, is because next year we talked about two big storylines coming out, which is Action Comics 1000, which will be coming out, and Detective Comics 1000, which is going to be coming out. Does this mean they're going to drop the ball on that and just put out a regular book or put 1000 in front of it? Come on, DC, step the game up a little bit. You've dropped the ball on a couple of weeks. Last week it was the Superman book. That was disappointing. This week it's the Wonder Woman. Let's pick our game up a little bit and understand that these are big issues that you could do something nice with. And they're big characters, so I don't understand that. Jumping back into the books. Regular cover of the Wonder Woman. This is Wonder Woman 34. My brother Jason. I haven't had a chance to read this yet, so I don't know. Now remember, they kept the Rebirth number. That's why it's a 700th issue, but number 34 on the Rebirth for the Wonder Woman. Scooby Apocalypse, a book that I'm enjoying, but I'm enjoying this even more because there's a Secret Squirrel story in here. And I love the Secret Squirrel. My son, when he was little, loved Secret Squirrels, so I saw that, and it just brought back good memories for me, so I'm looking forward to that. Suicide Squad Rebirth 29. From Image Comics, I'm looking forward to this book, and I haven't read any of these books yet, so I don't know, but I'm looking forward to this one. This is Gravediggers Union number 1. So I'm looking forward to that. Spider-Man Deadpool, this is part of the Arms Race number 1, number 23. Getting chased by a shark there, not looking good for Spider-Man. The Metal tie-ins, this is Batman Lost number 1. I didn't get the button for this today, I forgot to ask, but I will get it next week. Sorry about the glare on that book, but those covers are really coming out. This book came out a couple of weeks ago, or a few weeks ago actually, and it was issue number 1. It was Misbegotten, the Runaway Nun, and they had the Marilyn Monroe cover that I liked on that. This is one with Gandhi on it. This is from Action Lab. Now, the issue I'm having with this is I'm worried it's too long between issues. That can be just as bad for a book as a bad storyline. You can have a good storyline, and Afterlife with Archie is a perfect example. Really good storyline, but just took 2, 3, 4 months for issues to come out. I'm hoping this doesn't happen with this book. And that was, again, Misbegotten number 2. Batman Detective 968. It's a cool cover, but I'm not wild about that Robin. Kind of has a weird look, but Robin's had that pose on a lot of different covers, so that's kind of an iconic Robin pose. Oz Effect Part 5. Got Batman breaking the chains there. That's kind of a Neil Adams issue kind of take right there on the Neil Adams Action comic where he's breaking the chains off. Slots number 2. Slots number 1 was good. I'm hoping number 2 is good. So this was issue number 2. And then I also found a black and white number 1 of Slots number 1. I kind of like that. Kind of reminds me of like an old newspaper article for like a strip club or something that you'd see in sleazy magazines or you see in old movies. So I kind of like that right there. It's popped up on the computer. Let's get that off. And finally, this came out last week, and I didn't pick it up because they weren't in good condition, so they got a few more. This is Neil Adams' Dead Man. This is a short story. This is a mini-series of 6 books. And I have to say that I thumbed through the artwork just to take a look at it. I'm not real wild about it. Neil Adams is iconic. He's earned his place, but I think he's living off his rep on this one because I wasn't impressed with the artwork from what I saw in that. So, jumping into some of the older storylines that you want, or excuse me, some of the war titles. If you like war titles, you'll probably know these right here. If you don't, then it's something you might look into. The first one we're going to show is The Unknown Soldier. This is issue number 240. Unknown Soldier has been around a long time, but it wasn't really mainstream. Sergeant Rock, Sergeant Fury got all the action on that, the old Our Army at Wars, but this is a good storyline. And I always liked it, so you might want to check into that. These are hard to find in high grade. They're very hard to find in high grade condition for some reason, so if you see them in high grade, pick them up because it's a great addition to a collection. And the other one was one that came out in the 70s. This is Men of War. This is particular issue number 13. This is another really good storyline right here. Something that I enjoyed. I liked all the war comics when I was a kid because, excuse me, my grandfather fought in World War II and would tell me stories. And so I just always loved learning about history and World War II and Germany and all the stuff, you know, that went on because I wanted to know more about it from the stories that I had heard. So the Unknown Soldier and the Men of War have a very heavy German influence on its covers and in its inside storyline. So if you like war books, Men of War and the Unknown Soldier are a couple of story arcs that you might want to jump in. I think you'll enjoy. And finally, the 1 in 10 variant. This book is pretty hard to find, and it's hard to find in high grade, and it's going up every month. This is Civil War number 3. This is the Michael Turner 1 in 10 variant. And I always loved that. The second I saw this cover, I loved it. The Spider-Man with the Captain America shield right there. Again, very hot variant right now. Going up, selling anywhere from 30 to 50 bucks. So don't let the 1 in 10 fool you. This is a hard book to find. So if you see it, grab it. And finally, I went to the shop today, and the guy handed me this, and I thought, oh my God, we've just been talking about this on a recent video. So Marvel, as part of their Marvel Legacy, is going to do Marvel stamps inside their books. Here is the booklet. Now, we talked about this in past videos. It's, you know, the stamps are going to come out, and you put the stamps in the book. Now, when I was a kid in the 70s and the Marvel stamps were coming out, it was more like a green book. Little stamp, put it in a book, send it in, you get something. I never did that because I didn't want to cut my books up. So that's why none of my books have missing Marvel stamps. So, as you can see on the back, they give you a checklist of all the books that are going to have a Marvel stamp in it. I'll bring it a little closer, you kind of get an idea of what it is. Little slow roll like a movie. That's a lot of Marvel stamps. That's a lot of Marvel stamps. And here is my concern. If it's going to be like the buttons you get for buying the metal book from DC, and they want to hand you a stamp, that's a cool idea. It's a cool collectible. It's something different. If you're going to do it and try to be old school 70s with these books and put them inside the book that you have to cut up, why would you do that? Why would you want to damage a book for a Marvel stamp? I don't even know if you're going to get anything for this. I'm looking at it, and it's talking about, you know, break out your scissors, Marvel Mavens. So obviously, from the inside flap that I just read, it looks like they're going to make you cut up your books. Brand new array of Marvel value stamps is coming your way courtesy of Marvel Legacy. What the heck is a Marvel stamp? Because a lot of people don't know. They came in from 74 to 76. Heroes and villains. So it comes with Marvel Legacy, bringing it with 53 stamps illustrated by Mike McCone. So you're going to make us cut them out. And that's kind of what I guess they're going to look like right there. But if you're going to do, that's a big stamp too. If you're going to make us cut our books up, shame on you. Shame on you, Marvel, for doing it like that. So I am not happy about that. So we'll just kind of go forward on that. So again, there's your Marvel stamps. So the history of the Marvel stamp is coming back, which obviously means that they're probably going to adjust grading criteria for missing Marvel stamps. So we'll see if that happens down the road. Big event coming up in a couple of weeks. Real big event. And that event is Doomsday Clock. Excuse me. Doomsday Clock from the artist who brought you The Watchmen. It brings in the DC Universe. And it's going to be a huge event. I do know that it's going to be 12 issues. It's going to be a 12-issue set. And it starts November 22nd. Now, some shops are doing midnight openings here in town on Tuesday night, so you can get the books right away. My concern is that if they do it correctly, it could be a really hot book, and it can be a really good storyline. I don't think it's going to be anything like the Infinity War or Secret Wars or anything like that, because I just think there's going to be so many of them ordered. But I'll go in for the event and get my first issue on number 1. But there might be something in one of the 12 issues that might come into a movie play down the road, or do something to a character that might be pretty big. But it's going to be a big event. It's probably, it's going to be the last big event for this year. But it's going to carry over into next year, so I'm kind of anxious to see what they're going to do with that. Now, if they do something like that, there's going to be a movie tie-in as part of the DC Universe. You just have that feeling on this, the way they're pushing this. So there it is. I know one of the covers is going to have a Joker on it, holding one of the Watchmen happy faces. So I'm definitely going to be looking for that. So Doomsday Clock, November 22nd, if you can find it. So the video is kind of all over. Don't worry about the dogs barking in the background. Video is kind of all over. I hope you like the video. Again, I appreciate all the information that I get from the viewers, and I appreciate all the support I'm getting from the viewers. If you like the video, thumbs up. If you don't like the video, thumbs down. I hope you liked it, but as always, if you didn't, nothing I can do for you. Have a great night. See you next week.